and just say, I'm going to honor you better than you honor me.
Well, good stuff there from Dave and Ashley Willis.
Always good stuff from
We're
them.
in our kitchen here with our kitchen couples.
All right.
Mike and Diane Clemens and Eric and Kara Main.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, Dave and Ashley always have so much wisdom when they're on the show. And I really like the fact that Ashley was talking about how when we speak positively about our spouse, it elevates their trust in us. And if they catch us speaking negatively, it brings the trust level down. Because, you know, that's really important that they need to know that even when we're not together, we've got their back. We're going to be lifting them up, elevating them to other people, talking about the good things about them, not kind of nitpicking things and talking down.
Yeah, and they said that nagging shuts down communication, and praising and encouraging, it builds it up. It just opens it up.
That's
so such a contrast there. And they said that you know, that the praising must be a lot more plentiful than the negative. So if I've heard like a 5-to-1 ratio at least, and even when you bring up the negative, you bring it up in a way
in a loving
that's
way.
a loving way. It's not an attacking way. But and as he said, it kind of gives credibility to when you do have a concern you need to share, because they know you have their best interest at heart.
Let's face it. There's always going to be concerns we need to share. I mean, this is real life, you know. The rubber meets the road. You're always going to have things where you need to say, okay, baby, we got to talk. But it's the way you share it, really, that matters.
Absolutely. I think we learned early on that whenever we are in public, because we always are in public, that we need to always build one another up, never speak negative or speak down in front of other people about each other, because what we say matter, and the impression that we leave with someone else, right, that also matters. And God tells us, you know, that it is our duty to build one another up, to make each other feel valued, right? And if we don't value one another, who else is going to value us and pour into us and build us up? So we have to make sure that we do that, you know, constantly to one another. And I'm always telling him, he always thinks it's just so crazy, but I always say it. I always say it's from, I can't think of the name of the movie, but she says to a little girl that she's raising, you is smart, you is kind, and you is important. But I always just try to tell him little things to make sure that he knows that you're the king of this castle. Like we may not say it all the time, but you're valued and we appreciate you.
And to go along with that, there's this little idea that if I say something negative but I'm joking, it's okay. That's not okay, right? And so we really want to understand that it's positive or nothing, right? So let's speak positively about, and if we can't speak positive, be quiet. Right? Yes. Just that simple, right? And so it is one of those things to really work on focusing on practicing, making sure that I always speak well. And why wouldn't we speak special things and say things that bring life to a person who's chosen to live their life with us?
As a sports guy who's not only played but been a coach and now general manager, even these big football players, you know, these he-men, they need those words of encouragement when they're on the field. How much more does this team member need it as well, right?
Wow, and you say that right, and I mean, that big guys break down from a little bit of negativity, and they get so upset, and words matter.
Yeah, they do. And I love how Dave and Ashley gave us practical steps. Maybe people are finding themselves in a season where their marriage isn't where it should be, and it's really tough to be positive to one another. Maybe they feel emotionally drained or used or just not in a great place. I think if they just start with 2 a week or a day of just positive affirmations to your marriage, to your spouse, I think you'll begin to see the atmosphere shift. And so
something that we're called to do, or even challenged to do in the book of Romans, Paul's writing to the church in Rome, and he says outdo each other in honor. So we're called to be competitive in the way that we outdo one another in honor. And so if I can bring that principle that Paul wrote to the church in Rome into my marriage, I'm going to be competitive with you, but in the way that I honor you. I want to honor you more than you honor me. And vice versa. Be competitive with each other and just say, I'm going to honor you better than you honor me. Because keep yourself humble, but say I am better because I honor you. It's a call to be competitive. Come on, outdo one another in honor. And so I think that's a pretty good principle to bring into our marriage.
That's what I wanted to say. Well done.
Drop the mic. That's it.
And it's been said that people will rise to the level of honor that their spouse gives them.
They will.
They want to be that man. I want to be that man. If she's calling that out in me, okay, I need to be that guy because I don't see myself as good as she sees me, you know?
Yeah. And the Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And so if you're having trouble speaking positively about your spouse, just look into your heart and say, okay, what do I love about him? Like, pick one thing. You know, he provides for the family. He goes to work. Or he's always there for me if I need someone to talk to. Whatever it is, find one thing. Start encouraging him in that. And before you know it, other things will come to mind because he'll, like Ron said, he'll start to rise to that level and say, I love what she sees in me. I want to be that person. And then more things will come out, and it'll become just like Eric said, it'll become like a competition. It'll be a habit where your household is filled with that, and your kids will see that too. They'll see the atmosphere rise and say, okay, I like the positivity that's happening here.
Good stuff. All right, what a positive conversation. All right, more to come. Stay with us.
We've been married 38 years, and we have never really argued a lot. We're not arguers, really. But if we have some tense moments between us, usually it has been about parenting styles.
Disciplining the kids.
Disciplining the kids because, you know, I've said it before, my wonderful husband comes from a home full of grace and mercy. And I come from a home that is the letter of the law.
Military.
Exactly. My dad was...